Lakes Beach there in the Wyongshire, and in the national park and on the beach. And Steve was, you were a bad guy in that one, Steve.
Yeah, his name was Zippo, I believe. He was a beachcomber.
That's right. Yeah.
It was a bit hard to sort of
homicidal beachcomber. Really.
Well, I think he was. Yeah, that's right. Of course, I tried to play him quite the opposite. I thought he was a lovely guy.
I went to the I think it was the world premiere at the big cinema complex at Tuggerah, Westfield, because it was a lot of it was filmed locally and on quite a tight budget, but with a really fine Australian cast, and it shows you what we can do without multi-million-dollar CG budgets and all the rest. We rely on good actors like yourself and Pippa.
Without a doubt, some of the best films around are the low-budget numbers, I think. So,
You had a broken arm, I remember, in the film.
I did. I had a motorbike accident about 2 weeks prior, and I actually had pulverised my little finger.
So you can see the operation.
That's right. It doesn't do much anymore.
That actually added to it, actually, that you were this sort of scarred character?
Yeah, possibly. I was on some pretty serious painkillers at the time, so I don't know if I can remember much about it, to be honest. But I'm glad you liked it.
How'd you remember your lines if you couldn't remember?
That many, really?
No, not really. I think I was more a presence. I had a few lines, I think, but I was more just sort of skulking around trying to terrorise the youngsters.
You're this evil predator.
That's right, yeah.
It's a scary movie, actually. I must say I still have.
There were lots of crows in it, I believe, which would have added to the atmosphere. There were just naturally, just on the beach, there were millions and millions of black, really dark, big, massive ravens, and they were all through the film. So.
It's quite a long, isolated stretch of sand there, isn't it, between the entrance and Nora Head? You're out on the beach and in the national park, Wirrabalong, I think it is.
Yeah.
National park there.
It's a pretty spooky area, just in
It is?
They captured it really well.
Well, I'm not going there anymore.
No, neither am I, I'll tell you what.
Not after seeing you.
Not after meeting myself, I'm not going back.
Stalking the sand dune.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I married him, which is foolish.
Oh, no, he's homicidal.
Truly, I know.
He's up there with Malcolm Dayton. Only on the screen, of course. Only on the screen. Yes, this is an interesting combination. How did you get together? Through the love of acting, or through sharing roles in a production?
Well, we met on a production, a remake of South Pacific, up in Port Douglas, with Glenn Close and Harry Connick Jr. and a number of other fine Australian actors, and we met and we liked each other a lot.
It was love at first sight. It really was. It was 13 years ago now too.
So it was very Bali High for you, was it?
It was. That's right. Exactly.
And you didn't try to wash that man right out of you.
Well, there's nothing like a dame.
Gotta love it.
See? So entertaining.
So was that an all singing, all dancing?
It was actually. Well, a little bit for you.
I had to sing and dance, which is not my forte. I'm a single threat as opposed to a triple threat.
It was very funny. I did most of the singing with the other nurses down in Sydney. We pre-recorded it, so when we got up there, basically it was just miming to what we'd already done and doing numbers on the sand. And lots of different scenes with Glenn.
Gee, it would have been great fun.
It was really good fun, actually.
It was a very social shoot, actually. Sort of the movie kind of got in the way about partying a bit at the time, didn't it? But that's certainly how we met.
And in that tropical atmosphere, obviously love would blossom in that,
yes,
under the palm trees.
It was romantic.
It was. Yeah, we're planning up there again. That was in Port Douglas in 2000. We haven't been back up there yet. We're hoping to at some stage get up and relive the glory days.
Indeed.
Yeah. And what are you hoping to bring to the aspiring actors on the Central Coast?
Well, hoping we can give them some of our expertise, our advice. Because we're still working in the industry and we have discovered at our age that we have a desire to work with kids after we've had one of our own. And
are they your kids out there at the moment?
That's our one child out there.
Little 4.5-year-old girl.
She's just taken over the newsroom.
She's
look out.
Pressing buttons and showing them how the computer works. I think.
She wants to be a paleontologist. I know that these things change, but it's stuck.
We're going for
a couple of years now.
She's showing dinosaurs on the newsroom computer to our journalist. I think we'll forget about the news headlines. She's having more fun.
She knows the name of every single dinosaur.
Isn't that
remarkable?
fantastic?
Yeah, it's a real passion. So, yeah.
Well, we're hoping. I've been coaching some HSC students and some younger Stedford students, and also other people who are just kind of interested in seeing what it's like and giving acting a go. A radio announcer here I've been working with, and
not Brad.
No, not bad. Not bad. But I would if he wanted to, if he needed it.
I'm just looking for a fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're hoping we can pass on some of our skills and help people build their confidence.
And people who want to go to acting school as well. I've done a few sort of coaching. When you go to do an audition for acting school, you've got to have a bunch of monologues together, and so we just sort of run them through that and try.
Do you culminate in a production of sorts?
We haven't.
Pirates of Penzance or something?
That's not a bad idea.
I don't mean that in
That
a
hasn't
sort
been
of
done very
derogatory
much,
way.
has it? No.
But do they work to a show?
No, because we don't
hone
run
its-
classes as such. It's not like a group of people.
Oh,
In schools we can do that, but we sort of try to run one-on-one sessions with people, so we can just work really intensively over an hour.
Shame
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
They all
I
come
reckon
here.
I need a few of those.
All of the
next
creative people are coming here, and you're leaving. It's just
Yeah,
from 92.5 ABC
Something in
Central
that.
Coast in the studio with us, Steve Marquand and Pippa Grandison, who have brought their creative talents to the Central Coast and are helping our great young actors here. We're very lucky to have so many good actors.
You do. You
Rob,
really
Rob
have.
Carlton was in the studio the other day. You're also in an ABC production, the famous Rape.
That's right. We're about to start shooting the third season. Starts next week.
It's very good, isn't it?
I haven't seen any of them.
Very
I'm
well
afraid.
written.
So
It's very well written.
it's when you get the scripts. A lot of the time,
Yeah.
with a lot of shows, you just sort of flick through it. But when you get the script to Rape, you start reading the first page, and you cannot put it down until you've finished it, which is quite rare in this country. They're amazing.
That's what it's all about,
It
isn't
is,
it? I
yeah.
mean,
It's
you
great, right?
must just love it when you get a good script.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference because the words just seem to come naturally. Obviously, you create your character and you make your journey and all of that. But it is much easier with a fine piece of script. If you're struggling with words that just are sticking in your mouth and you need to fiddle around with them, it can take a much longer time. So.
Steve, when you are doing roles where you're scaring kiddies and that, what do you draw on for that? You just sort of... It can't be yourself. You just want
Just
to...
lurking within. Look, I
evil dark
I
side.
did have a few years where I was a little off the rails, I suppose. I lived life to the fullest, and I mixed with some very interesting characters. And I've sort of taken a little bit of a lot of those characters and amalgamate them, and then just sort of rehash them depending on how evil the bloke I'm playing is to a certain extent.
Take us through
Definitely
some of the films and some of the roles for both of you, because it's quite an extensive CV. A lot of work, and it's not hard, easy to get work in your game. A lot of the good actors are saying, the line they're presenting is, "Would you like fries with that?"
Well, it can be very hard. It can be. If you want to stay in Australia and you become what's called a jobbing actor, unless you land yourself TV show after TV
jobbing
show.
actor?
It's going from job to
Job to
job,
job,
not knowing perhaps where the next one's coming from.
Because you don't have those long-running... The ones who are lucky get a long-running series, don't they? And they know where the next paycheck's coming
Well,
from.
the longest thing I've done, it was my last job. I've done some guesties on TV since then, but Mary Poppins I stayed with for a long time. And that's the longest I've ever been on a show.
That went very well,
Over
didn't
a
it,
year.
as a stage show?
Yeah.
It was really sold out continually. You're coming up with the show The Graduate with Jerry Hall.
I know.
Who I
I'm
think
going to go about up to her belly button, I think. Height-wise.
every man of my vintage would remember with panting breath the cameo she did in
Let's Stick Together.
Let's Stick Together
Brian
with
Ferry.
the cat suit.
Yeah.
Is that the sexiest thing you've ever seen, Steve?
Absolutely.
Apart from your beautiful...
Well, besides from my beautiful wife, obviously, yes. I was only a young fella then, but I remember being pretty excited about it when she came out with the cat suit, swinging the tail, I believe.
Pippa Grandison and Steve Marquand are with us, great Australian actors, and so this The Graduate show with Jerry Hall, is it in production, in rehearsal?
We start rehearsals end of August down in Melbourne. It's only a short season, but there's a 4-week rehearsal period and a 2-week season. Possibly an extension, I guess it depends on Jerry's...
Is it a rewrite of the film
schedule.
as a musical, or is it a sort of a review?
It's not a musical.
It's not it's the film.
It's a
Which
straight...
character in that do you play?
I play Mrs. Braddock. I'm the mother of Ben.
Sweet.
Let's all reminisce.
Right, who's got the harmonica?
Wow, wow, wow!
Yeah, baby.
It's a great song, isn't it?
I played a harmonica.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Yeah, thank you.